All right. So now we are we are recording again after making sure that the students are available and attending the class. Please pay attention to my questions and answer them whenever I ask you. So again, now the question that we are working on now is writing a function that find the maximum number between two integers. The questions are, before writing the function, the question is, do I need to pass any argument? Okay, please. Anybody can answer?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to pass arguments, right?
Yes. The power.
Okay. Will I get any feedback, any return value from the function?
Yes.
Okay, then. So I need to pass arguments and I need to, I will receive value. This is the first question that you should ask yourself whenever you want to write any function. The other question is, does the function returns value? We said yes. So yes and yes. Okay, now we are ready to write the function. I will write it here. First, of course, these things include IOStream, etc. using. Now here I write the function. The function, give the function any name. Since it returns the maximum number, then I'll call it max. The argument that I'm going to pass, now it finds the maximum number between two numbers, so integer x and integer y. Before specifying the type of the function, let's write this. If x greater than y, return x, right? Else return y. Now what if they are equal? If they are equal, there's no comparison, no need for any comparison. So in this case, you just need to return one of them, either y or x. So this will solve this issue, and that's it. Okay. Now in the main function, integer main. Okay. Here, see out the maximum number is. Of course, you can use enter x and cn x, cn y, but here it's not our concern now. Just call it max of 5, 4, for example. All right. Or you can also do it like this: integer. Give me a name. M equals max of 7, 6. Okay, and print cout m. All right. So how to use the function is very easy, because I have written the function and I can use it now easily. So let's type this, or let's implement this function. So I will go here. All right. Again, I'll delete this. I'll start with include IOStream using namespace std. Okay, and here I will write the function. Of course, here we forgot something before I forget. Now, the return value is here. The return value is y or x, which is integer. So the type of the function should be integer. All right. So let's go back and do it. All right. So here I define integer max of integer x integer y. If x greater than y, return x. Of course, you can make it a little bit longer. You can write, for example, else if y greater than x, return y. Okay. Also, you can write else if x equals y, return either x or y because they are equal, right? And that's it. Now, this is correct. No problem at all with this. But actually, it's very long code. You don't need to write or to consider all these cases. But I will execute it, then I will remove the extra instructions that we don't need. Here, integer main, right? So cout enter n1, first number, and cn. Of course, here I need to define them. Integer, not necessarily x, a and b. All right. cn a, and I'll do the same thing here again. Enter n2 and cnb. Okay. I'll define another integer. I'll call it m equal max of a, b, and cout the max number is m. Return 0 and done. So let's run it. See if it works properly. All right, so here we got enter n1, I will enter 5, enter n2, I'll enter 9. The maximum number is 9. All right, now see, remember this number 5 and 9. If I run it again, okay, if I enter 9 and 5, of course the same answer. The maximum number is 9. Now, as I told you, there are some extra things that I don't need. What's written here? Warning, control reaches end of non-void function. All right, no problems. Okay, now I don't need these two instructions. Instead, if x is not greater than y, then either x is less than y or x is equal to y. So in all cases, I will just write else return y. Okay. Let's execute it and see the result. Enter 5. The second number is 9. So the maximum number is 9. I will execute it again. 9, 5. The maximum number is 9 again. Let's give two equal numbers. Say 7 and 7. The maximum number is 7. So this is the code that we needed. So I'll just copy it and paste it in the in the presentation, in the slides, so you can consider it as done. This is the first question. Let's see the second question. Write a function that returns true if the given number is odd. Otherwise, it must return false. Use the function in the main function to test whether the number is even or odd. So let's discuss this first. I'll call it even or odd. Okay. I think I should go to draw here. All right. So even or odd. Now, how to test if the number is even or odd? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. If, remember the mod operation that we discussed lately? If x mod 2 gives me 1, then it's odd. If x mod 2 gives me 0, then it's even. And if you remember, we say, for example, 5 mod 2 is equal to 5 over 2, which is equal to 2 and 1 over 2. This is the value of the mod operation, right? So if 1, that means the number is odd. This is in all cases. Another way to think of it, let's answer this and we will discuss a little bit more about this. So the function will do this. What do you call the function? Of course, the same question. Do I need to pass argument? Yes. How many arguments? 1. And should be integer. All right. Will it return any value? Yes, it will return value. Either Boolean or integer is up to you. So let's try writing it. Before defining the function, okay, integer x, there will be only one variable passed, and I call it odd. Okay, and here Boolean. Okay, now if x mod 2 not y, okay, equals 1, that means it's odd, right? So return true. You can write it like this. Else return false. If it's not true, then for sure it's false. All right. So this is the code. If x mod 2 equals 1, then it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. So here I don't need a lot of numbers. I'll just use only one number, integer a. If cout enter an integer, semicolon cn a. Now I'll define another variable. It should be of the same type, Boolean. I'll call it m. Okay, equals odd of a. Why? Because I want to pass a. Sorry, a. Yes, I want to pass a to the function. The function will test whether the number is odd or even and give me the result. Then I'll print cout the result is, of course, intentionally I'm trying to make it m. Let's see the execution. All right. So I run it. I have error here. The error expected comma or semicolon before cout. All right. see how to solve the errors. Now, if you can see here, I got an error, expected comma or semicolon before C out. Where's C out? This is C out. Before it is here. So I forgot to add here the semicolon. All right. Run. All right. Perfect. So enter an integer. Give me a number like 7. The result is 1. 1 means true. Okay. I run it again and give it even. Let's give it 8. The result is 0. All right. So in this case, I'll just take it and discuss it with you there. This is the second question. I'll put it also on the slides so I can share it with you. Okay, so this is the one. If you can see here, okay, the first part is to write the function. So what I'm doing here is, this is the function. First, I need to think about the function itself. I call it odd because it tests whether it's odd or even. So odd means return true, and the type of the variable is of the function is Boolean because it's either returns true or false. And in printing, you saw that we print either 0 or 1, which is false and true, right? So in this case, to test the even or odd number, it's whether it is divisible by 2 or not. So x divided by 2 or mod 2, if it's 1, return true. That means it's odd. Else return false for sure. So here I read an integer a, then I define another. And remember, I told you this several times. There are 3 types that you have to be, 3 items. You have to be careful. They should be of the same type. The function type and the variable that is equal to the function. Okay, here m should be Boolean. And the returned value, here true or false are both are of type Booleans. So I defined a variable m equal odd of a, then the result is m. Now what if I want, instead of writing or typing 1 or even, if I want the output to be odd or even, okay, then I'll add some minor modification here. I'll make, where's the, I'm sorry, yeah, I'll make the change here and show you the modification. Now what I'll do, if m equals true small letter, okay, T out, the number is what? Odd or even? The number is odd, right? Otherwise, else, again, you can write the if condition, but you don't need it. It's something extra. So else, T out, the number is even. You can write here, else if m equals false. Okay, but I don't need it. Make your program short as possible, so it makes no difference. So I'll try it now to see if our program works correctly or not. Okay, so enter an integer. I'll enter 6. Okay, 6, the number is even. All right. run again, enter any number, okay, ends with 9, the number is odd. Okay, so our code now is working perfectly. I will also give you this code with the modification. What's happening? All right, so new. This is the code with the modification. All right. Please, when you read I mean, these slides, you have to go back to the recording because these slides alone are not enough. Okay. All right. Now let's take the other example. The other example is, of course, test whether odd or even. That's it. Write a function that returns if the given number is a prime. Keep it for the last thing. Okay. Write a function that returns the power of a number. I will write it here. For example, x to the power y. Who told me what's the meaning of power? The power. For example, if I say here, if I say, 1 second. Okay, x squared. What does that mean? That means x times x, right? What if I say x to the power 3? That means x times x.
Multiple x.
Exactly. Thank you very much. What if I say x to the power 4? Again, no big deal. X times x times x times x.
Times x.
That means if I don't know the number here, that means I need to create a counter, right? So if I do it like this, x to the power 10, of course I cannot keep writing x times x times x. Everything in programming should be automatic. So what I'll do, I'll create a loop for integer I equals 1, okay? I less than or equal n, if I'm talking, or y here in this case, okay? Then here, x equal or result r equal 1, and r is equal to r multiplied by what? By x. Why is that? R is equal 1. Of course, if I put in some, usually we put r equal 0, but here 1 because multiplication. So if I passed, for example, x to the power y, if I passed, for example, 4 to the power 3, then x is 4 and the power is 3. That means the counter here will count 1, 2, and 3, right? Because for integer I equal 1, 2 less than or equal y, that means 1, 2, and 3. R is equal to 1. So the first iteration, R is equal R multiplied by 4. So the result will be in the first iteration here, I. Okay, I have I have R, and I have X. Okay, so when I is equal to 1, R is equal, or initially, before I started, okay, R was equal to 1 and X equal to 4. In the first iteration, okay, R now I equal 1, then R is equal R times X. X is equal to 4, then this means 4. X will remain 4 forever. It will not, its value will not be changed because nothing happened here to change the value. So second iteration, okay, R now is 4. So in the second iteration, R is equal 4 multiplied by X, which is 4. I'll get 16. Okay. The third iteration, R is 16, and it will be multiplied again by 4. Then I'll get, I think, 64. Okay. So this is the way we find the power, the unknown power. So let's write it and see the result. So again, the first thing that I'm going to do is to remove this part. I'll call it. Of course, if you use the word POW, it will be it's not allowed because it's a keyword. I'll use power. All right. Of what arguments do I need to pass? X and Y, right? Integer X and integer Y. What will be the return value? The return value also should be integer. So here, what I'll do for integer, of course, here I have to define integer R equals 1. And here for integer I equals 1, semicolon, just remember this in C++, I less than or equal Y. Okay. Here also I write R equals R multiplied by X, and that's it. Okay, when we finish, I return R. Return R. So this will find the, but also I'll do some modification. All right. Again, as I told you, it's better to be professional. First of all, here I don't need to use R equal R multiplied by X. I have to use the assignment. So in this case, I use it like R equal plus X. Remember this. All right. This is the first part. Second, now how many instructions do I have between the brackets here? I have only one instruction, so no need for these brackets. Okay? I told you when I have only one instruction, then I don't need it. And you know, it's better if I put it next to the loop, but it's okay. I'll put it like this. All right. Now I want to call this and make sure that it works. So integer A and B, you know, no need to read them. Integer A equals 5, or as we said, 4, and B equals 3. Then no need for all this. I'll define integer M equal power of A and B. And then I print it. See out. The result is all right. We can use it now. I hope there will be no errors. Return. Run, sorry. Okay, we have error. What's the error here? Expected semicolon before token. So the error is here. Yes, we have mistake here because we forgot I++. Okay. So I think that's it. All right, let's try run it now. Okay, the result is 64 as we calculated it. Okay, let's try any other numbers. Give instead of 4, 7 to the power 6. All right, and let's run it. All right, the result is 117,649. So this will solve the second question. All right, done. How about the last question? Now we have 4 minutes. Okay, we'll open the discussion for the last question, which is the prime, or the where is it? Write a function that returns true if the given number is a prime number, otherwise return false. By the way, this is very much similar to the last two questions, to the odd. Okay, where is the odd number? Yeah, this is odd, and this one also, because it needs, I mean this one, it needs what we call it, iteration. Okay, I'll explain to you, and I want you, maybe I will put it as an assignment. All right. So odd number is very easy, divided by 2. But for the prime number, what's the definition of prime numbers? من يعرف لي prime number? Now, prime number is the number that does not accept division, or is not divided by, cannot be divided only by 1 and itself. Like, for example, the number 7. Okay, 7, you cannot divide it by 1 or 2 or 3, right? It can be divided by 1. How about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7? So it accepts only the division by 1 and 7, and the rest is not possible, right? How about 4? 4. Put the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is divisible by 1, divisible by 2, divisible by 4. So it's not prime. Okay, so you need to find a way to test if the number can be divided by all the numbers less than or equal the number itself. So let's try, for example, 9. And usually there will be some kind of confusion between prime numbers and odd numbers. Now we are talking about prime numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, it accepts divisible by 1, 2 no, 3 yes, so it's not prime. So what will you do? You need to create a loop like this one. Okay, here, like this one, you need to create a loop and divide the number by all the numbers within the loop. If it accepts the division, or it's divisible by more than one number, then it's not a prime number. This is your assignment. I will put an assignment for till next lecture. And we, of course, I will solve it to you next lecture. But I want you to write the program and upload it to the assignment. I think time is up. So thank you very much. I'll stop recording now.
Victor?